Howdy, folks. Howdy.
I'm Black Dragon. Hey, welcome tonight to Sunday Night Live, late night live with Black Dragon. I used to come on earlier on Sunday nights, but so many people started coming on during the prime time era. I figured I would start coming on a little bit later. So here we are, and we're gonna have a pretty cool show tonight. Now, this one is gonna be interesting. There was a lady on, I don't know if you remember, about 5 years ago. We featured this lady who burned the colors of her old man's club. And we've heard from that lady tonight. She left a comment, several comments yesterday, and so she's speaking about it. Took her all these many years to find this video, but she is still as pissed off as she was. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to look at that content and discuss that, and we're going to discuss what she had to say about it. It's going to be really cool, I think. All of that after this. Howdy, folks. Howdy, I'm Black Dragon, and welcome to another edition of Black Dragon Biker TV. And I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. I'm Black Dragon, your host, and this is, a great place for you to be. Late Sunday night. Some of you guys got to go to work in the morning. That's too bad. I retired some time ago, so wow. I remember that though. I might go back to work, man. I might go back to work one day. Check this out. Go ahead and bring that other screen up there, guys. Appreciate that. So I did a video a long time ago, almost like 5 years ago. It was a long time ago. About this lady who burned up the colors of her old man's club. You got to see this. Let me see if I can play this real quick. This was crazy. Can you guys hear that? Need to check with my my producer. Can you guys hear that? Sometimes here, let me delete that source and try it again because I don't remember if I turned on the sound. Every now and then I forget the sound, and my producers, I don't see him telling me, yeah, you can. So let's do it again. All right. Now I think you guys will be able to hear it. Okay, let's get back. Here we go. Check this out.
Bullshit right here. You remember that time that my husband was in it? And I put your bitch ass little fucking cut on? Yeah? Oh, I think you wanted these patches, right? Cool. You wanna fuck with my husband? Get him put away for 12 years? That's what we're gonna say about that. Right fucking there. Come get his patches now, bitches. All fucking yours. Is that a lighter? Hand me that brown paper bag up there.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Kinfolk is nothing but a bunch of rats, cops, snitches, and bitches. And that's what I think about your fucking cut.
Dang! That was
Watch
crazy.
that burn, bitch!
Woo! Boy, that still hurts to this day. Ouch! Well, yeah. So, there were so many comments about it, and we're going to look at a little bit of that video. But here is Christy right here, and she made many, many statements. If this is her, and I believe it is, she made many, many statements. You won't be able to see them until I unblock them. This is over here in my for review. And normally I hold things for review that have cussing in them or stuff like that. So I saw this. This all came a day ago. And I'm going to read this for you. And we're going to see what she has to say in her own defense about this, that, or the other. But first, let's find out a little bit about why she did those things and what it meant. We're gonna do that now and look at some of this video from almost 5 years ago so that we can get the story in perspective. And once we get the story in perspective, as we go back over it for what happened then we'll be able to talk about it now and talk about what she has to say. She has responded to several people, and I think it's interesting. So let's check it out. Let me get back over there to it. And action! Go ahead and do that. Hi, I'm Black Dragon, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Black Dragon Biker TV. And as always, we're thankful to you for tuning in, from wherever it is that you are in the world. When you see a video such as the one we just saw, the first thing you try to do is survive the shock of seeing such blatant disrespect towards the colors of an MC. Any MC. That is, if you're a biker in an MC. Because as a full patch brother, we all know the dedication and respect and great esteem to which we hold our colors. Amen. We hold them near and dear to our hearts. Near and dear. So when we see something like that, we must ask, what was the breakdown in MC protocol that allowed something like that to happen in the first place? What went wrong? What we want to know is what went wrong and where did it go wrong, and what's the story? So I took the time to get a hold of Jesse, one of the admins of the Facebook page Kinfolk Truth Crew Ratbusters, where I saw this video posted, to learn the story of Christy Aguilar, and it was interesting to say the least. But to tell that story, I must first tell a seemingly unrelated story about an alleged domestic abuse case that was mentioned on CBS News 7 on their website about a man named Juan Aguilar, and how it came to be that a man's past involvement with a motorcycle club caused him an enhanced prison sentence and what we would consider an unrelated case, and led to the colors of a motorcycle club being burned on Facebook.
Watch that burn, bitch!
The article from Midland, Texas read, "The president of a local motorcycle gang has been sentenced to serve more than 10 years in jail on an assault charge. According to Midland County District Attorney's Office, Juan Manuel Aguilar Jr., the president of the regional chapter of an outlaw motorcycle gang, was sentenced on Wednesday to 12 years in prison for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. On August 4th, 2017, as the story goes, Aguilar and his wife, Christy, were staying at a hotel when he pointed a gun near her face. She then moved her arms and knocked the gun out of the way, and he fired a shot into the ceiling. Christy was able to turn and run to the front desk of the hotel where an employee called 911. And so it continued to say that the jury found Aguilar guilty after only 2 hours of deliberation and then sentenced him to serve a fine, to serve a prison term and a fine. But during the sentencing phase, the punishment phase, the district attorney's office says that they were able to show evidence during that punishment phase of the trial of Aguilar's involvement with an outlaw motorcycle gang. Thus, the jury found him guilty, or they'd already found him guilty, but thus the jury awarded him or sentenced him to serve 12 years in prison as well as a $5,000 fine. The case was tried by Assistant District Attorney Rebecca Patterson Linehan and Ada Warneri, and the defendant was represented by Ed Shelby, the website said. And that's where this whole profiling crap comes in. You're telling me that a domestic abuse case between a man and his wife that had absolutely nothing to do with a motorcycle club, or the outlaw motorcycle gang, as they called them, somehow magically involved the MC when it came to the sentencing phase, to enhance the sentence, as it were, which to me is absolutely insane. So this motorcycle profiling project, I mean, they just seem to be right over and over and over and over again. So let me get this right. A man who beats up his woman in a hotel, so the news says, or tries to, actually pulls a gun on her, they say. Pulls a gun on her. She knocked the gun away, ran down. The gun went off into the ceiling, whatever the case may be. And so they find him guilty of aggravated assault. And then during the sentencing phase, they say, oh yeah, he's a member of an outlaw motorcycle gang, and you guys should put more time on him than you would if he weren't a member of an outlaw motorcycle gang. And to me, that this is just absolute bull manure. But the story is even more complicated, because how does that lead to a woman burning his colors?
Watch that burn, bitch!
Well, it seems that the Kinfolk Truth Crew Ratbusters Facebook page administrator, Jessie, whom I interviewed yesterday, told me that she interviewed Christy. And in her interview with Christy, and she said that during the sentencing phase, supporting information about his involvement as a president in this motorcycle club, outlaw motorcycle gang, was provided by snitches from within the MC. So now we know why Christy was so pissed off.
You want to fuck with my husband? Get him put away for 12 years? Watch that burn, bitch!
She claims that information came from snitches from within the MC. A snitch or several snitches or something like that. And that caused her man to get an enhanced sentence. And to make matters worse, Christy said her husband had quit the club long before any of this had taken place because he had become disillusioned with the club. And he told the club to come and pick up their colors. Come get your cut, he told them. And the club, according to her, never responded to come pick up their cut. So by the time the relationship completely soured, and the quote-unquote snitches came to court to implicate her husband,
Well, it had devolved to a point that the result was this terrible thing that we saw play out on Facebook.
Watch that burn, bitch!
So if it is true what Christy points out, if it's true what she says, I want to say a couple things. One is that clubs have to educate their prospects and train their members. That when you leave the club, you turn in your colors, period. No matter whether you become disillusioned or whatever the case may be, we have to get it within our club culture. We have to get it within our club culture that it is your responsibility, it is your oath to turn our colors back in. Hey, look, we didn't have to come and get our colors when we gave them to you. You showed up in the meeting, you got blessed in, you were crying, oh my God, I'm so happy to get these colors. Thank you, Black Dragon, thank you. Black Sabbath forever, forever, Black Sabbath. Man, I always get worried about those guys. When that's like the first word out of their mouth, they've only been in the club like 7.5 minutes. Black Sabbath forever, forever, Black Sabbath. Then they become disillusioned. And it happens. People become disillusioned with the club. They don't like something about you. The club has snitches in it or whatever they say that they don't like about the club. It could be for good reason. It could be for not so good reason. It could be the truth or it could be a fabrication of their own mind. For whatever reason that they become disillusioned, come pick up your cut. Come get your colors, man. And we didn't have to come get our colors when they gave them to you. So why didn't you come bring them back? And two, if what she says is true and the club never came and got their colors, see, that happens too. You get in this pissing contest back and forth. Come get your colors. No, I'm not coming to get them. You deliver them, blah, blah, blah. Listen, clubs can get lazy. Sometimes it's a matter of the sergeant at arms doesn't want to drive over there. It's across town. And these people sit out here with your colors till the situation devolves. And then you got to be looking at this on Facebook.
Watch that burn, bitch!
So I think that we got to train our prospects and our members better as to the culture of your obligation is to get us back our colors as soon as you leave. And clubs have to follow up and get your colors so that you don't have to suffer from a terrible embarrassment. And there seems to be more to the story. It seems that Christy told Jesse, the admin, during their interview that the real story of what happened that night had not really been told by the mainstream media, the mainstream press. But there's more to this story. It seems that Christy told Jesse during their interview that the real story of what happened that night had not actually been told in the mainstream press, and that she was quite disappointed in the fake news altogether. And this is understandable, as I don't care. You know, Donald Trump used to say, fake press, fake news. And I used to get so mad at him for saying that, except for maybe he's telling the truth. My own motorcycle club has suffered from the idea that newspapers tell stories in sensational ways that sell papers and advertisement and television watch time and commercial time. That's how they tell stories. They don't tell the story to benefit you, the person in the story. They tell the story to benefit the station and what sells. And sensationalism sells. So the story that Christy tells is quite different. Her story is simple. My husband and I got into an altercation, a shouting match inside the hotel. I wanted to leave the room. He didn't want me to leave, so I pulled out my legally registered handgun that I had a concealed carry permit to carry, and I fired it into the ceiling as a warning shot. And looking at Christy on her Facebook page, she seems to be a pretty tough girl. I could probably take her at her word that maybe she's the one that fired the warning shot. But that's not the story the press told, because the press told the story that the jury believed. The jury didn't believe her story. They found her husband guilty of that crime. So that's the story the press told. Also telling the story that her husband was a motorcycle gang president, outlaw motorcycle gang president, found guilty, even though he hadn't belonged to that club for some time. So her story was never been told until the Facebook page Kinfolk Truth Crew Ratbusters and Insane Throttle Biker News carried her story yesterday on their show, The Biker's Angle, which you got to watch. Insane Throttle Biker News. My guy over there, James Hollywood Massacari, man, they just do it really big over there. And so he gave light to the story, on the whole story, both sides, everything, so that you could see what was going on. And I'm sure the other thing we all want to know is, were there any repercussions from the club for her blatant attack on their colors? Which, in my opinion, there should never be. You will only bring a negative cloud down upon your club if you take out your anger on a woman, especially now a single woman raising children. No matter what, you can't win that battle. It's like biting into a very rotten egg that makes the whole club smell bad and look bad. But of course, when feelings are involved, things can go awry. So it seems that Christy's 4 tires were flattened yesterday. And she's even posted a video that allegedly shows a member of that MC trying to confront her after she made her burning video.
You're making yourself look stupid. Kinfolk Truth Ratbusters, bitch. Everybody knows. Yeah, keep running, you little fucking faggot.
And that, that can never look good. My advice would be to let that sleeping dog lie. You're just not going to benefit or win any kind of PR war with messing with that woman. Colors are burned, let it go. So, looking back on the aggregate, looking back, we like to look in the MC protocol. We like to look at things like that. Looking back, what are the major lessons that we learned from something as unfortunate as this? One, and I think this is the biggest lesson, is that present or past affiliations in motorcycle clubs, especially those deemed as outlaw motorcycle gangs, can enhance your prison sentence in the state of Texas these days. Remember that Christy claimed that her husband was not a member of that motorcycle club since about July. And in his sentencing, they used that affiliation to enhance his sentence. And even CBS headlines, Channel 7 proclaimed, the president of a local motorcycle gang has been sentenced to serve more than 10 years in jail, even though he's no longer in the motorcycle club. Do you ever get to let that go if you quit? I mean, are you the outlaw motorcycle gang president forever and ever? If you get a DUI, are they going to enhance your sentence because that's what you belong to? If you get a jaywalking ticket, do they enhance your sentence? If you get a speeding ticket, do they add another 15 miles per hour to it?
Good questions.
Looks like it's going that way. So motorcycle clubs have to think about how you're getting down in public, because every negative interaction in public is bringing more draconian laws down upon you, down upon us. You gotta understand, we as motorcycle clubs are losing the PR battle, and scared citizens sitting on juries are coming back with extended and enhanced sentences just because of our past affiliations and what someone might term a motorcycle club or an outlaw motorcycle gang. 2, teach prospects and train members in the proper way to turn over club materials after they leave the club. You know, my suggestion might be even to get them to sign a contract saying that if they don't return the club's property, that they agree to pay $25,000. Then foreclose on their house when they don't do the right things. You'll have a contract in your hand, and you won't have to do all this negative stuff. And the last thing that you want to see is some craziness like this.
Watch that burn, bitch!
3, don't be lazy about retrieving your club's materials before the relationships devolve into such a situation that you're looking at something crazy on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or whatever. The club must retrieve its colors. If someone says, come get your cut, come get it. Or you may have to look at something like this.
Watch that burn, bitch!
4, I've heard it said that some motorcycle clubs have snitches in them. And we've seen it on Gangland and all these television series that there are snitches in motorcycle clubs. The only way snitches get in motorcycle clubs is if motorcycle clubs are lazy. I'm actually going to do a video about that. How to keep snitches out of your motorcycle club. It's important. It happens. It could happen to any motorcycle club. Anyone at all. You have to work diligent to keep up the traditions of the MC, and that means no shortcuts. You have to vet people out, or you might have to deal with something like this.
What a bunch of rats, cops, snitches, and bitches. Watch that burn, bitch!
And 5, do not take revenge out on women. This is a public relations nightmare that is nearly impossible to win, and it will keep your club from looking weak and prevent this sort of thing from happening to your beloved MC.
You're making yourself look stupid! Kinfolk Red Truth Rap Busters, bitch! Everybody knows, yeah, keep running, you little fucking faggot!
In the end, Christy and Juan need help to fight their appeal and perhaps taking care of them kids. I'm posting their GoFundMe page in the description of this video below. So you can send a few dollars their way. And I think as a biker, you have to. If you understand that it's important for all of us to realize that past associations, being involved, if they're going to use your association with your motorcycle club or your past motorcycle club or a motorcycle club you were in when you were 15 or anything like that to enhance your sentences, we better start doing some voting. We better start doing some voting of some people that are going to stand and fight for our rights against this egregious kind of stuff. It's supposed to be one case, one trial. One case, one trial. It's supposed to be a trial for the things you did wrong. This guilt by association kind of thing is something my grandma used to spank my butt for being with the Scales brothers as they went and stole crab apples off of the old man Johnson's crabapple trees. And I never stole one damn crabapple. I was guilty of eating a few, but I was not the kind to climb over the fence and be in old man Johnson's yard. However, my grandma took a switch off the biggest tree she could find and beat me half to death just for hanging out with the Scales brothers and their messiness. And that sort of punishment should be reserved for grandma beating your ass and should be kept out of the courtroom. Guilt by association shouldn't be a legal thing. It should only be a grandma beating you to death thing. You know what I mean? So we have to think about that when we're thinking about who we're going to elect and who we're going to vote for. Because as bikers, if you get that very negative association attached to your motorcycle club, it seems like, at least in Texas, you're going to be hard pressed to fight those issues. You can find detailed interviews in their entirety on Facebook, on the Facebook page, Kinfolk Truth Crew Ratbusters, and on Insane Throttle Biker News at HarleyLiberty.com. And also on the Biker Angle, which is on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They have a Biker Angle up on YouTube, Insane Throttle on YouTube as well. And the Facebook page, Kinfolk Truth Crew Ratbusters, is a page that has apparently been set up to track the movements of a particular motorcycle club and report on what they believe are violations of MC protocol, which you know is something that my page doesn't do. We have such a hard time keeping our own glass house in order, if you know what I mean. But those are the pages, and that's where you can go to get the videos and the stories in their entirety. I just wanted to talk about a few things that would keep us from having to see something like that happen to our beloved colors of any one of our motorcycle clubs, such that we never see anything like this in the future. So that's my 2 cents. Listen, if you haven't already, please like the page, like the video, share the video, and hit the notification bell.
Yeah, so that was the video I did like 5 years ago. Now, I like the way I used to do that. I might go back to, that's back when I wasn't doing live. When you're not doing live, you can have stuff shooting in and stuff. And it's much cooler when you're not doing live. I probably need to get away from live like right now. So anyway, we hear from Christy yesterday, and she had several things to say, which will be up on the page right after this, because I will be approving these. So just so you know, if you ever put something on the page and you don't see it, it's because it's blocked automatically, and it doesn't get approved till I go approve it. So normally it blocks it if you curse in it, or you're talking mean to somebody, or you use like links. You put a link in, it automatically gets blocked, and then I have to go over here. So she says, let's get something straight about why I blame the club for her husband's sentence. In his trial, they provided evidence of a cut that wasn't his, but his actual brother. When the hotel called the cops, and she made it known that the hotel called the cops, it was gang task force who showed up knocking on the door when we were there. So they called the cops, but the gang task force shows up. It wasn't just a gunshot. It was black eyes, choke marks, cut above the head, and so on. And he was a sorry piece of, SHIT. That's what POS stands for. Now, before he got sentenced, he was out of Kinfolk Motorcycle Club. They kicked him out, and he went to a different club who also removed him because he was unstable. The list goes on. However, the evidence they were providing in the case was his brother's stuff from his own chapter. Regardless, that POS, piece of SHIT, is exactly where he belongs. He jumped from club to club to club multiple times, was a woman abuser and a piece of SHIT. He's still rotting in prison where he belongs. Everyone's saying, oh, she gonna pay. That club, sorry ass, couldn't do shit. Lord have mercy. Wow. Okay. And she goes on to say, they weren't even recognized by the clubs that actually matter. 5 years later, they have disappeared. She came back to say, or to continue, 5 years later, first time I've read these comments. Think what you want. I don't care. 5 years later, I'm still alive. And the club is dead. Yes, I disrespected the colors. Colors of a club never recognized as a 1% club. My husband was a bitch and a rat, pulling family and friends off my social platforms he should not even been doing just to save his face. I burned kinfolk's cut and I will do it again. Joke of a club, she says. TBH. I'm not sure what TBH means. The comments. Uh Somebody said to her, with a wife like that, you don't need enemy clubs. With a wife like that, you don't need enemy clubs. He's lucky she didn't light her own house on fire. She responded, uh, so that night when I blew up your phone, she responded to somebody else whom I guess she knows, someone named Misled Perception. She said, that night when I blew up your phone, Madmans, Dustins, none of y'all would pick up while I was locked in the bathroom. And the first opportunity they got and offered you an officer patch, you jumped on it all. All you had to do was turn your back on him. I didn't leave his sorry ass for another man. I left an abusive POS who made my life hell. And when he got locked up, I was sending him money and he was living with his mom and helping her out and living in fear till I guess she was living. I think maybe she was living with his mom, living in fear till I realized it was time to get away, regardless. Somebody else said something to her. So if he went up for 12 years, that means he didn't talk, right? Good job, bro. F the snitches and rats. That's the game you get caught in when you take your time, like a effing man. When you take your time. He took his time. She says, laughing my effing A off. He was trying to rat out clubs before he got locked up. He's up for release next year. Don't back his damn ass up. Yeah, it just goes on. She is mad, bro. Somebody said something, that motorcycle club is a joke, but she is a bad name for calling cops to begin with. She said, I didn't call the cops, you F-U-C-K. And she goes up here on to say that the hotel called the cops. She put hotel up there in big hotel words. Just so you know, she didn't call the cops. And when she did call it, when the hotel did call the cops, it was the gang task force. Like they had been watching them or something. One of our long-term people that's been on the show forever says it seems she was the one that got him arrested, and she quite possibly the one who told the cops she was a club member. Typical of a female to blame everyone but themselves. She said, "You scrub." I hate to be called a scrub by a woman. That hurts. You scrub. I don't want no scrub. Riding on the side of his best friend's, riding the passenger side of his best friend's ride. Not for me. I hate to be called a scrub by a woman. Ouch! 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 And then finally, somebody said the club is going to get her ass, and she said that club didn't do SHIT. Here's some comments that may be offensive have been hidden. There's even more? I didn't see these. Show. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I haven't pre-read these, so let's see. Somebody said his sentence was overkill, and she is the one that put him there. If this club had any testicles, they would be doing their brother a favor and send her on a long vacation. Oh, that was all ugly. She said, "Oh, sweetie, he was a rat from the start. I put him there, question mark. If you saw the video, I denied it all, but it's cool. Years later and still kicking, and the club was never anything. Fake club, blah, 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 blah." You guys go read that. I don't want to get into all the cursing and stuff. You guys know me. Someone said she's just mad. Her food budget got cut. She said, "You're so stupid. I was providing for that BITCH guy inside and outside of the prison." And then somebody called her the B word. The B word called the cops on her husband. And she said up here, that it was the hotel that called the cops. But anyway, her response was, okay, she's the one that called the cops on her husband. She's the one that started all the shit. Who knows what happened in the hotel room, but her calling the cops put him away. She said, oh, I totally called the cops, bro, all the way. If I did or not, just a question. If your mom, sister, daughter, cousin got beat the F up and had a gun pointed at their face, what would you tell them to do? Suck my metaphorical. Yeah. She has a metaphorical one. Wow. All of these hard asses thinking they know what happened. Shut the F up. Tough girl. Tough girl. Wow. Wow, man. Well, it's good to hear from her. 5 years later. And she really got her point out there. Somebody says she sounds a bit psycho. I don't think she sounds psycho. I think she sounds, I don't know if you guys remember the story. She had a gun pulled on her and pointed at her face. She pushed the gun up in the air and the gun went off. Now, who thinks she called the cops? Like if I'm, and I just got to say, if I'm the front desk person and I hear pow, I don't go back to my front desk work. Somebody said, who hasn't had a gun pointed at them? Well, many of us in the biker world have, and many of us have been shot too. But that doesn't mean that a woman is supposed to get a gun pointed at her. I don't know. I wouldn't say that she sounds psycho. Pissed off? I would say she sounds pissed off. And absolutely, women in my own family have been through this. And so they have post-traumatic stress disorder. They are paranoid a lot of times. And a lot of times they have had, they're trying to recover from being abused, these kinds of things. And one of the first things we want to do is, what is that word? Gaslight. One of the first things we want to do is gaslight them. And, that's a problem that women have had through the centuries. They get gaslighted. Oh, you wore that short dress. You asked for being raped. You asked for it. Like, no, I just wore a dress. His mind was in the gutter, not mine. But, yeah, a lot of us I've been shot 4 times, so I absolutely know the feeling, but that's not something that everybody goes through, and certainly not something women should go through at all. They shouldn't be shot, hit, bit, spit upon, or is it spat upon, or any of those things, unless that's something they want, and then But if they don't want that, that shouldn't be happening to anybody. Keep your hands to yourself. Does that make sense? Anyway, it's good to hear from her. I mean, 5 years later, she's still pretty pissed about it. And the other thing is, hey, if you teach your people to get their colors back when their colors are supposed to come back and that sort of thing, if you're teaching the right things, then people know what to do because it's been ingrained in them. That I always hate that. Well, come get your colors, bro. We didn't have to come get them to give them to you, so now why do we have to come get them to get them back? So, Sergeant at Arms, be on that business, bro. When it's time, you don't even have to ask nobody. When they just be already at their house, like, okay, bro, we just need to get our colors back, if you don't mind. Appreciate you. Love you. Appreciate you. And then you don't have this problem for the most part. Anyway, somebody said women and children, untouchables. Amen. Amen, brother. Women and children, untouchables. I like that. They should be. Somebody said they saw me last night in the movie Biker Boys. Yeah, it's 20 years now. I should do some interviews with some of those guys that were in the show. I'm going to try that. See if I can get a hold of any of them. It was 20 years ago, man. 20, maybe 22 years ago, something like that. 21 years ago, something. It was really cool to do that show. All right, man. We're going to be getting the hell up out of here. I appreciate you guys all. Man, my chat was blowing up. You guys really blew the chat up tonight. I really appreciate it. Being shot, stabbed, and ran over, I actually feel lucky that it happened in a bar or in the street because there were patrons there to help me and call an ambulance. Yeah, that one poor millionaire guy who started, the one who got killed in California recently, this guy had nobody. He was running around trying to get help, and he died in the street because there was nobody to help him, man. That really sucks. Somebody said, "Burn rubber, not your soul." I did not come up with that line in the movie. In fact, when they made that movie, I never even heard that line until after the movie was on the screen. I was like, where the hell did they come up with that? I never even saw that. But anyway, I digress. Hey, that's my 2 cents. Please check us out. We got bikerliberty.com, our online newspaper, bikerliberty.com. You can get us on the podcast, The Dragon's Lair, LAIR, Motorcycle Chaos, The Dragon's Lair, Motorcycle Chaos. Check us out there. We also have a Discord server. The link to the Discord server is in the comments section below. So check out the Discord server if you don't mind. The Dragon's Lair is everywhere, Spotify and all those other places. I'm going to show these QR codes real quick. These QR codes, you can click these QR codes and get my books. So let's see. We've got the Public Relations Bible for PR people and secretaries and motorcycle clubs, the Prospects Bible for women's motorcycle clubs, self-explanatory. WeMC shirt, first generation. WeMC shirt. You know, the motorcycle club is not about I, but it's about we. Second generation of WeMC shirt. The Sergeant at Arms Bible, Soldier Sergeant of the Motorcycle Club, How to Be a Great Sergeant at Arms. And this goes into the history of Sergeant at Arms and all that kind of stuff. We got the Prospects Bible, #1 bestseller since 2014. It is required reading in 3,000 motorcycle clubs internationally. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for that. New WeMC shirt, also second generation WeMC shirt. Appreciate that. You know, there you can get that. And the President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. So check those things out, man. We'll be back in the morning with some news and stuff for you. I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. Love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning in, my friends. Let me kill the source here real quick. There we go. And we're going to go up out of here. Love y'all. Thank y'all. Have a great evening. Hey, subscribers. Whenever you are in Macon, Georgia, you have to get over to my Motorcycle Club Brothers Cigar Lounge. Haley's Cigar Lounge on Ingleside Avenue has a night or several nights just right for you. Monday night football kicks off the week. Wednesday is whiskey night. Thursday, ladies night. Saturdays are make your night. And wrapping up the weekend, it's Sunday football. Haley's is closed on Tuesdays. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere at Haley's. Hang out at the bar or outside on the patio. They can also host your small events. Haley's Cigar Lounge, 2308 Ingleside Avenue in Macon, Georgia. Be sure to tell them Black Dragon sent you.
Get Black Dragon's first book, The Prospects Bible, to learn how to join a motorcycle club. It has been an Amazon #1 bestseller for the past 7 years and is required reading for over 3,000 motorcycle clubs worldwide. This book is a must-have for new people venturing onto the motorcycle club set. It will teach you how to prepare yourself for service to the motorcycle club nation and show you how to qualify a motorcycle club to be worthy of your service. Available on Amazon, Kindle, and for order at your local bookstore. Get your autographed copy at blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club prospect you can be. Get the book.
Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.
And we'll see you in a minute when we break out the first book out. Dad, we're going to be looking at is.
Well, let's do yours first.
Yeah, how about you first?